everybody. It is that time again. It is Thursday, 4 o'clock, when Lily and I get together to talk to you about penny stocks, wherever they may be. So, hey, Lily, there you are. How you doing?
I'm fine, John. How are you?
I am good. It's been a wild week. The market's had a lot of play in it, both the big ones and the small ones.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. All right, I'm going to throw up some news as we normally do. This will give you a chance to see what's been going on this last week. There's lots of news here. It's all from the OTC market. There's none from the major exchanges. And these are interesting pieces of news. This is new technology, expansion projects, mergers, acquisitions, no financials, no public offerings, nothing like that. So take your time and read it, or come back and read it later. That's even better. Lily. Yes. The market has been wild this week, both the OTC and the major exchanges. Not a lot of volume on the OTC, but there's been some strange things happening down here, and the major markets went nuts today.
Yeah, the CPI numbers came in a little bit better than anticipated, and it was only by like 0.02, so it wasn't much, but it was enough to cause a little small rally.
It was a reprieve on inflation, and that's all we needed to see is some pullback.
Well, I guess I take it as positive. I look for it. It is positive, but I look for it to be a short-term thing.
I do too.
Because we still got more to come. But yeah, until then,
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of stocks this last week. A lot of, I guess you'd call them hot penny stocks. LATAM coming out of bankruptcy. Yep. KG had a big contract with Walmart. What's another one I was playing? Oh, PLPL, which bust up. Oh my God. You know, they had that merger deal. We'll probably end up talking about it later, but they're getting with EV Hotel, which is an entirely new technology of Internet of Things, cryptocurrency, and hotel. There's going to be no front desk. You won't have to touch the toilet or the curtains. Everything is voice activated. And they're going to have a lounge where you can trade cryptocurrency live. And I guess they're going to be serving alcohol down there. Your first drink is free, something like that. They've got one going in Phoenix. They got one going over in another country. I can't remember exactly where. But all this hot news had this stock running. And then behind every single piece of news, they drop another one saying, oh, by the way, one of the conditions of this merger is a reverse split, a 1 in 100. And I swear to God, I had just averaged down on that big bounce, and I seen it fall 50%. And in my mind, that's 100% gain. Ooh, thank you for the opportunity. But I did not jump into the internet and see why it fell. Before you throw your money at anything, you should at least see if there was an extreme movement in the charts. Was there a reason for it? And I failed to do that. And I doubled up on it, tripled up, if you will, actually. And then saw the news, and it's like, ay. So I do believe in the company. The reverse split's going to hurt. And I'm telling everyone now, I do believe in PLPL. It's going to be a company that rises, but I wouldn't get in now. They're not going to do the reverse split until all the jots and tittles are taken care of, which means each company has to have an accounting done of their records so they can bring them together. I'd wait till after the reverse split, watch it crash. All the disappointed investors get out, and then the new buyers will come in, see the value in the company, and it'll go up from there. And that'll be your time to get in. I'd like you to get in right now because honestly, we're at what? 0006. You do a 100 reverse split on that, you got 6 cents. Well, there's been no loss in value in the company. There's just disappointment. That's all there is our disappointment. That's brought the price down. Well, if we were to push the price up right now to 006, 1,000%, 100 reverse split would still happen, but now it would be at 60 cents when it came out of the boat, which is going to help everybody. And it's the same stock, same potential. We're just playing with the numbers now. And I don't think disappointment should be the reason a stock falls when it has strong potential. That's just one man's opinion.
Well, it will reduce your float as well, which is good. And that needs to happen on some of these. I don't know what the float is on that one, but it needs to happen in some of them. It's just some of these floats are just too big, and you can't get any kind of substantial inertia, movement, and gains. And
yeah, we've had a lot of reverse splits this last week.
We have. I actually talked about DBGI last week when it did its reverse split. And what happened, because I'm going to go ahead and update that real quick. What happened with that one is after they did it, let me get a bit closer so I can see the charts. After they did it.
You want to show your chart?
I can show it real quick. Mine's messy.
Not a problemo.
Hold on just a second. I'll pull it up so we can just go over it because I was talking about it. Don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Look at the comments.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me share my screen with y'all. All right, can y'all see that?
Sure can.
Get rid of all this. This is old stuff. Move it. All right. So this is the 20-day. So we had the reverse split, and it moved up to like this 9 area at the time. Well, no, I'm sorry. I think it happened. Hold on, I need to get closer because it was recent. It was real recent. It wasn't that long ago. This is what's definitely last week. Yeah, we came up to the 10 area, and then it sold off, which is kind of what I was expecting. You may get a pop, and it's going to pull back.
Right.
And it pulled back into the 6s, and that's exactly what happened. But right here on this day, they decided to dilute, which is something I knew they could do. I didn't expect them to do it so fast. But, you know, I think I told them in the last stream, I said to everybody, if it'll hold that 6 area, you're going to be okay. That's going to be okay. But just as soon as it decided to give that up, that was it. No more. So it didn't happen. It didn't play out. And it's because of the dilution. It's because something changed. The float was like 500K. And they went ahead and, gosh, I think they added like 677K shares. So we're over 1 million float now. It's still higher. But this was not good news, not what everybody was anticipating. So we had a nice drop.
Right. It was 100% dilution.
Yes. And nobody liked that.
It was a small amount.
Exactly. So the last 5 days after that happened, we started leveling out at this 337 area, started holding up, and now we're picking up today. And it could be because of the CPI data. You can see right here when I was looking at it, I drew a line for it to kind of hold, and it's below that right now. So I look for it to kind of dip down a little bit more. This was just a quick little run here. And they do have a merger still coming with Sundry. That's who they're merging with. So once that news comes out, you'll probably get a nice little pop there. So I would keep an eye on it if you're interested in playing it. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I never entered. But if you were interested in it, it's 337 level. I would look for it to come down about halfway for sure and hold that. So probably around 430. If it can hold between 4 and 430, then we'll see what happens with it once that news comes out. If not, it may revisit that 337 right there and test it to see if that's going to be the true low, if they have time before they announce that news. And that's pretty much all I know about it and what's going on with it. I do know there's acquisition coming. But that dilution really killed off this play and the potential of what it could be. But that's the thing with stocks, you guys. It's always speculative.
And that's why you see in most cases when a public offering news press comes out, the stock dips. Nobody gets excited to hear what you're putting more. I got to share more of my pie. I'm not happy about that. Leave my pie alone.
Nobody likes that.
The stocks we looked at yesterday, NRBO, they did a public offering. I'm not quite sure how many shares it was, but they made $17 million off it.
Oh, wow.
And it is a penny stock, so there was a lot of shares. Then they did a reverse split, and they brought it all the way back down to 500,000 shares.
Wow.
And it's like, first you flood the market, now you bring them all back. So now they got all their shares. We got a low float. They've got bank to make deals. It's a biotech company that was $14 20 days ago and was $1.62 yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of activity going on. And then they just got that money plus another $15 million. So they got $32 million yesterday, which they needed. They definitely needed the money. And they've got all those shares. So I don't know if they're looking to make a deal with the money and the shares in their hands now. But as you said, we could expect dilution now. They have the right to put those authorized shares back on the market.
Oh, yeah. And it can feel like a very queasy roller coaster ride, you guys. So some of these times when you're playing stuff like this, it's a quick play and always lock in profits. There was a chance for DBGI, But like I said, it didn't hold that 6 range, and you knew to just leave it alone. That play, it was just dead. Because think about what I said, because they were reverse splitting them for 100. All you had to do is divide the price by 100, which shows you where it was, and it had went down to like 6 cents. That's why I knew the $6 range was going to be it for that. And if we came down lower, we were actually making newer lows on that chart. So really, if before the split, going down to the 3s made it like a 3-cent stock before it split. So the play was over at that point, and it's time to reevaluate it.
Yeah, there's enough splits out there to move on. I mean, unless you're falling in love with a stock and want to hang on to it.
Don't chase anything. Move on.
Man, I think I posted 20, 25 splits this week. All penny stocks that have been now left with 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, 500,000 shares. They're all low stocks. We got a IPO coming out with 3 million shares, $5 on the 10th. I posted that too. So the information's out there. There's lots of these little itty bitty float stocks to play, which is almost diluting the market now with too many low float stocks. Which one do we play? So now we're kicking the market.
And it's going to just lose that that inertia it had going. It's just going to lose that, and it's not going to be the next hot thing of what everybody's doing. And there'll be something else, you guys. We'll figure out what that trend is. Anyway, I see Velmore wanted to talk about EVIO. Is that what the one you have pulled up?
Yeah, jumping around here, getting a preview on it. I see that they had news today. First thing we see is they're pink limited, which means they're late on some of their filings. And they need to get those caught up. Looks like, looks like they're missing one for the 12th. They don't have the 12th month here going every 3 months. And we're missing 6 and 9 on this side of the year. So we've got like 3 different filings missing here. And if they don't get them in there soon, they could be pulled off the market. You'll know when they're close to the edge because it'll say grace period right here in yellow. They got 15 days to get it right, just to let you know. I see the price is just off the floor. 0001 is the absolute cheapest you can buy a stock on the open market. And this one's a half a whatever that is above it, just barely floating. But I did see she had news come out today. And after reading it, it looks like they are down in Florida. Of course, you don't want to come up. I was reading this. There we go. All right. EVIO subsidiary coast-to-coast contracting continues to experience accelerated growth. They're banking off of the hurricane damage down in Florida. There's just not enough licensed contractors. And I was down there for about 10 years through hurricanes, and I also worked with licensed contractors. And we had roofs that were destroyed for over 2 years with blue tarps on them, still waiting for roofers to come down there. And then here comes another hurricane, and we didn't even get the last one repaired. So that's what they're doing right now. And it seems to be big business, but, you know, it's not going to affect anything this very minute. We just know that something's going on. I doubt they have any revenues at that price. Well, make me a liar. They got something. It's
always good to see.
Yeah. Now remember, we got 3 zeros to put behind these numbers. That's not 2,000. That's 2 million. $2.3 million they did at the end of last year before the hurricane. That's what this is all about. They're making more money because of the hurricane. And we can also look at other things too. We don't do this very often, but you can look at their assets, see if they have more assets than they do liabilities. Whoa, they've got a lot of liabilities there, comparatively speaking. So they've got some hard financials. They're falling back on their financial filings. They're on the basement floor. It doesn't look real appealing. And in case you didn't notice, they got a ton of shares.
The float is huge. That's what I wanted to mention. The float and where they're at now, and then John going over those assets, you're definitely looking for a reverse split and offering. This company is hurting a little bit. They're going to need some money. Not so they're not doing well and not moving forward. It's just they've got some growing pains, you guys, to be aware.
Well, they've got to get some of those shares back. They don't even have any shares, which they use as currency to make deals. We've only got 20 billion authorized, and virtually all of them is already out. So a reverse split would bring the float down, and they get something put back in the bank to start working with. So it's almost imminent. I mean, they haven't said anything, but it just looks really bad.
Yeah, that's not good. And it's just, you know, nothing that will happen. But the conclusion to make on that is exactly what John and me are saying with it. As they keep on trying to make movements in the market, growing their company, doing business with the growing pains, they're going to need to do that. So just be aware of that, okay?
And you can see she hasn't had a whole lot of motion. That is 6 months right there. We'll just take a peek at
Yeah,
here.
I see the picket fence on it.
Barcodes, picket fence.
Yeah,
sure
barcoding.
Just going straight. What is with my connection?
And it would be hard to get it to get any kind of substantial movement because of that float.
Yeah, right. You'd need a lot of volume to get this thing to move. And we've seen it did have one bounce back here. What was that on the hourly chart? No, we had.
I think I saw it on the 4 hour. Yeah,
so we did
right
get
there.
up to 0004 here. It was very short lived. I don't know what the news was, but it didn't hold. That's for sure. She's come right back down here.
And in this scenario, with that float and nothing else happening right now, that's probably as much as you could expect out of this one. But it would need tons of volume to get it even there. But you would have so much resistance right there. It would be to get out. So they've got some growing pains coming.
All right, let's take a look at another one here. We got one from Chris. He's thinking of buying ATLX on this dip. There's a lot of dips out there right now.
Yeah, right.
Sure, though, where their high OS count, looking for advice. Another high OS.
Well, let's cover it.
ATLX. Let's start with the chart since this is where we're
I'm not familiar with this one.
No, I'm not either. It doesn't jump out at me, and it's not going to.
Atlas Lithium. Well, I like the name.
All right, yeah, but these days it's hard to tell what name they're actually using.
I know, but I know why it's drawing attention with that lithium behind it, Well,
this has definitely been running, for goodness sake.
I mean, yes.
Weeks of pushing up here. We just hit a 6-month high. Let's see if that goes back for a full year. That is a new 1-year high we have just hit here. So, yeah, there's a lot of excitement around this company right now. We hit that high 3 days ago when she was running for 4 days. That was a nice climb. And that all started on the, where is that? The 2nd of this month. So we'll look to see if there was anything going on there. All right.
Well, it's actually right now, what I'm seeing on the chart, and I will share that in a minute, John. I'm going to let you finish speaking about the financials and the overall structure of the share counts. But on the chart right now, it is in a breakout mode, and it's trying to make it a decision. And I'm going to explain that in just a minute because he said, he's looking to, or he or she, they're looking to buy. So we will definitely cover that. But go ahead, John, and I'll pick up after that.
Since we're here on the chart, because the chart is what we're going to read here. It's not going to be about the news. The news will be the cream on the top if the chart looks good.
Well, if you go to that 4 hour, go back to 6 months for 4 hour, and let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. See right there? If you could do a, oh gosh, what's it called?
Here, bring yours up, hon.
I'm sorry. I don't know the names of everything. I just do.
you want to show your chart?
Yeah. I'll pull it up real quick. But I want to make sure that everyone's following along. If
I like the way you
interested
chart.
in.
I've been trying to get Lily to do more charting here because she doesn't chart the way I do. And it's like spaghetti sauce. It always tastes better when somebody else cooks it.
So we have the ATLX chart here, the 4 hour. And so what I did was just go back to the low from the past almost 5 months there, and just seeing how it's moving, the movement of it, because a lot of things like to repeat themselves. And you can see it here where it broke out before, and it struggled. You see that line it's sitting on right there?
Yes.
It was trying. It was definitely trying to hold it up, but it finally fell back into the trend. It's still in an uptrend, so it's not bad. But that's where you have to be careful right here because we're in a breakout again.
Right.
So the thing is it has to hold this. And if it's not going to, it's going to break back into that trend. And most likely eventually, I will. Yeah. But eventually it will do that. Now, right here, if I had to guess, this probably took about 10, maybe 20 days right there. Maybe a month right here. It took it for it to fall back in. So let's go a little bit closer. We'll give you the 20-day. See, it's right above it, and it keeps fighting with it. You see, it keeps pushing back up. So right here, it's going to have to, in my opinion, it's going to have to hold that 0.019. I'll give it 19. And the low of this candlestick, let's see, what is that? Real quick. Yep, that's 0.0191. So 19.1. So if it can't hold the 0.19, and keep going over this bar here, which is 0.198 and to the 2 level, then it's going to drop back down. And you want to see good volume on it daily, like the daily volume. You want to see how that's moving with it as well, because that's what it's doing. It's fighting right now. We had a nice breakout, beautiful play there if you were in it, and you could have played it and took profits here. It came back to retest after the breakout because this would be a support for it now, and it's fighting with it currently. We've been doing it for 2 days. So I think you could be patient right here. You could buy in here if it does well and you get some volume, some more chatter. Maybe if a catalyst is on its way, maybe you're more comfortable buying in this area. Me personally, I'd probably wait for it to drop back into the trend. And I'll take you back to that. If you notice, it touches it, it comes back and touches it. So it more than likely would come back to the bottom of this trend line eventually, and this could take a long time. You have to be very patient. Or you could see it pick up at the 0.15. It could pick up around there and start and keep traveling up. So when I use that, I'm using it's a regression channel is what I'm using. So that's a regression channel. And what I do is just put it on there. I slap it on there because it gives me a good idea of how it looks. Once I'm deciding I want to play it, then that's when I go in there and I start drawing my own lines. If it's a day trade or whatever, I start drawing my own to wait for it to break out. So what I would do here, like this is on the day, just a day chart, 1 minute chart right here. What I would do is draw a line, kind of where it's been sitting at. So you can see we've had a resistance here, like you see it over here. Yep. So this is now a little resistance right here. So draw that line down and then hit the top of the candle right here and then extend that to the right. So you're staying in the top of that trend line and you're wanting to see it to start breaking out of this trend line that we just established as a top. And it's going to make a decision. It's going to start moving down towards that other line, kind of like a wedge. So is it going to break down or is it going to break out? But you kind of know your zone right there of what you can play. If you're just doing quick plays, you kind of know the zone right here. No big move is happening without it breaking out or breaking back into this trend channel right here.
And it definitely brings, using those channel lines, your support lines, it really gives you a nice, strong parameter. You feel comfortable with your trades because if you're breaking out. If you don't have anything drawn, and what's breakout mean? Is it going up or down? Yeah. So I like the way you throw in your channels there. That really gives you a comfort zone. You know where to move and when to move.
Or when to act. You kind of know that's not the zone I want to play, so I'm waiting for it to make a decision. That's why I say you can be patient. Wait for it to make that decision and show you what it's going to do. So just take your time with that one and then see. But if there's catalysts coming up, you want to buy a little bit here and then wait for it to maybe break out over those recent resistance levels it's made. Then you can buy more on the way up there once you get some confirmation, or you can just wait and see if it's going to break back into that trend, which is what it's been doing. It's still in an uptrend though. So really, I think it's got a lot going for it. The chart looks pretty healthy. News.
There's a lot of competition in the lithium mining arena.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And the chart does look healthy. So what I'm saying is I think you can get in at a better price at this point because of the breakout, the most recent breakout. Let that settle. And then let's revisit that one for sure.
Their most recent piece of news came out on November 2nd, which is a corporate update. If you're going to read a piece of news, that's the one you want to read. It's going to be everything you need to know currently. Share structure, we got a lot of shares, 2.3 billion. Not as bad as 18 billion.
Not as bad as the other.
Still a ton of shares. And financials, well, they're running at a minus right now. They only made $10,000 at the end of last year, and it cost them, they were in deficit of $235,000, $250,000. Operating expenses were $3.5 million. So they need to start making some more money. This isn't helping them. And I don't think we had anything. They do have something going on over here. I wasn't able to make heads or tails of it because they don't give a lot of information. They're making some amendments to registration, but I don't see, they said that it will be stated on an S1 form. So I guess that's what we're going to be waiting for, but I don't see any catalysts at this moment. The charts are rising. When I do my research
healthy.
and I'm looking at news, I've got to say there have got to be 10 mining pieces of news for every 5 pieces of other news. There is more mining news, and it wasn't like that when I started trading. Mines were just a little bit sporadic. But ever since we had that bill passed for mining and the China situation and not getting stuff in, mines are everywhere. And to me, I'm personally, if I'm interested in a mine, I don't much like mines just because I don't understand the technical jargon. I can't tell if that's good news or bad news. I can only read the adjectives. They've got to be making money. That's my bottom line. Are you actually pulling something out of the ground? Or are you still exploring? Everybody's exploring. Well, that's like R&D. It takes money to explore. And if you're not making money, you're taking money, and you're taking it from the investors. So personally, I don't like mines until they're actually pulling something out of the ground. And I don't see a lot of those. And maybe they're not on the OTC market. Once maybe they hit it and they're pulling money out, they get shuffled up to the NASDAQ because they start doing good business. I really don't know. All right, what do we got here? AMPG, please. Yeah. AMPG.
And then, Jeff, I do see your question on DBGI. We'll get to that next.
Great. Okay, this is a NASDAQ penny stock, Amplitech Group at $2.52. Had a small jump today of about 3.5%. And I'm looking at her SEC filings. We don't see anything fresh or new over here. And news, geez, no, there's no news here since 2020. So that's not helping. We could take a quick gander over here at Twitter. I wanted to save that page just in case we get to it. All right. We'll put this here and see if anybody knows anything. Safe long-term hold will be a major resistance break for a reversal at 250. I want $7. Yeah, who doesn't? Yeah, I want. There's a lot of that going on. AMP top analysis price target for the week. Don't know what the price target is. Sometimes a price target can move a stock if it's given by somebody who has a reputation, somebody who is respected, but price targets are given by a lot of people that nobody knows.
Yeah. We don't pay too much attention to them. I don't see anything
jumping out here happening. November 7th, new article, Amplitech recognized by Inc. magazine as top 10 most innovative telecom solution to watch. Well, that's no little thing. You know, anytime someone starts talking about you and putting you in a top 10 list, you're somebody. So I don't know a lot about this company, but obviously somebody's paying attention to it. Let's go take a look at AMPG's chart. And what was it that they're in lithium too? I think it was. I think that was lithium. Amplitech. Let me see here, because that's the one thing I don't know. They design, develop, and manufacture custom standard state-of-the-art RF components for the international commercial SATCOM space and military markets. All right, that's right. We did just read that. All right, so they've actually got technology they're working with Wi-Fi and satellites and stuff like that. So we got a high here on there. What is this? The 6-hour chart of $4, and the low wasn't too long after that of $1.40. And she's been hanging in between the two all this time, just hanging around the 200-day SMA. She does look like she's pushing up right now. For the last week, she's had a nice run. She does that often, but she doesn't keep climbing. Let's see what we got on our 10-day.
Still in an overall uptrend, I will say that.
Yeah, let me pull back to 20 days so we're not too close there. Yeah, we've got a nice 200-day SMA here, which could easily be a channel line for us. She is riding that up. She's staying above it. She's rolling across all of her SMAs, so she is showing signs of growth, and all of your technicals are just as steady. They're just moving up nice and easy. No rambunctious or questionable activity to worry about. Look at our 5-day, 5-minute. Yeah, she's taking her little rolls and bounces. I mean, just like a skipping stone across the water. It looks pretty simple right now. And I didn't see a whole lot of catalyst, but they did have all that information that was in that, was it the report that came out? Shareholders update.
Gotcha.
Was that the other stock? Yeah, it may have been the other stock. RSI is falling hard right now, and I know everybody likes to watch the RSI. And in case you didn't know it, that is the price line, folks. If you change all these bars into a line like Google charts do, they just have a line. That is the line. The RSI is the price line. So, and I do believe the PPO here, that's the PPO is the price line and the 50-day SMA. So really, they're just, they're bringing the same information you have. We have Amajama, who is a fantastic trader in our group.
She's amazing.
And she doesn't use any tools. She's a naked chart lady. She just reads these bars. There's all sorts of information in those bars. And when you learn how they communicate with each other and react and respond to each other, it's really all you need. The rest of it's just built on the bars. So she just doesn't use any lines or anything except.
Yeah, she has that. She does take into account the volume, stuff like that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I do know something because Amy's more momentum, so she'll trade in and out. There is things she'll go long on or she'll do a swing on. But the thing is, she doesn't know what news it is. Sometimes she doesn't even know what the company is. So she's confident enough to read the charts to make the right call. And she's 86% or 90%. I mean, she's pretty good. She's really good. So hats off to her for sure.
All right. So AMPG is looking like it is on an uptrend right now. Nice and easy. It's a steady growth. That's nice. That's what you want in something. If you're a day trader, it's not too exciting. But if you're a swing trader, this is perfect. Not a whole lot of volatility in there.
That's
now, we didn't
answer.
There was one question we did not answer, which was specifically asked by Chris. He wanted to know how high this could go, or was that the OS? As sure with your high OS. All right, we did answer you. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss.
He was just looking for advice. Maybe he was interested in making a play on it, and I hope when we went over the chart that helped a little bit. And if you're ready, John, we can get to
DBGI.
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff had a question, so I do want to address that.
Yeah, go to DBGI because I've been watching that one too.
Yeah, I've already talked about it, but specifically, he'd asked the question, so I'm going to show it again real quick, and I'm going to go a little bit further into it because I'm not particularly interested right now, but Jeff is in a position. So let me show my screen. John, read the question again to me again specifically.
Sure. It says, Lily, I spent more than my grocery money on DBGI last week, $27.58 to be told, at $7.72 a share. I'm down 35% right now. It was down to $3 and something. It's back up to 502. Hold or sell?
Yeah, and see, I can't say folks, to hold or sell.
Advice. We're just giving our opinions. So always make your own decisions.
Yeah. I can't say, but what I did, since you were in a position, and he said grocery money, so that means Jeff was watching last week when I said don't put more in your grocery money in this.
No, he actually says he spent more than his grocery money.
And I said don't do that.
I was going to say $2,700. That's some good steaks. That's some good eats.
But that's okay. Jeff, we've all been there. So I do want to cover it for you real quick. And since you brought up something very specific, I went ahead and did a fib retracement on this from where its high was after the split to where it fell. So if you'll look, and I wanted to show that here. That's what I did. And I've done it with 5 days, 5-minute charts. Mm-hmm. So you can see that. Now I'm going to get closer. Just remember it's in blue, okay? I'm going to get closer. You won't be able to see it anymore. You'll just see a blue line. All right, so let's get a little bit closer. We'll go to the 1 day, 1 minute. So right here, you see where it touched, and we have to use that as a bottom. It's the most recent that we have.
Yep.
But you see this line on top right here?
Yeah.
This is
we see it all.
I love the fibs. It broke through this one. It tried to test the 38 fib, 38% fib, but it can't do it. You see how it keeps bouncing off of it? And so it comes back down, and now it's trying to hold this 23.6 fib. So the thing is it's broke down. Let's get closer. It has broken down below that, which is around 505. So since it's broken down below that, it's out of that range now. More than likely, you're going to see it come down to this other fib line. And I'll back up again so you can see it better. Since it's broken down below this one, we're going to be in this range somewhere now, okay? This little uptrend, the regression channel that I drew on it just for today, or since yesterday. I did do a 5-minute, I think. So yesterday, it's showing you, breakout. It comes back in the channel. Breakout, back in the channel. And now it's starting to see right here, it's trying to give up even that channel. So I'm very concerned right here.
Yeah, it's either a wicked test or it's going to be a wicked fall.
Yeah, I am concerned. I mean, it could hold it. Sometimes we do go out of channels and come back in, go out of the channel down here and come back in. So it could hold it. But if it doesn't, we're definitely going to come back down and start retesting in these areas, which is your 420. Let me see if I can find another spot that might be a support for it or resistance from before. Maybe 460. If it gives up 460, I hate it to continue on, like even coming back into this channel. I don't see it doing it. So 460 would be my bottom on that. And we have a gap right here. More than likely, we're going to try to fill that gap, which is at 416, between 416 and 441.
Yeah, that's a big gap.
It is. I mean, it did come down here, so maybe we can technically say it was filled, but that was.
It comes down that far. It's probably
quick movement. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I don't think we'll go back to 337. Maybe I do think the CPI numbers is what helped this move like it did today, because just the whole market was bullish, right?
Not the OTC. Your major markets was really strong today. Our OTC,
and this is NASDAQ.
You're right. You're
CPGI
right.
is NASDAQ, and that's why I was mentioning it. So that CPI numbers kind of helped it here. Yep. And now I'm thinking we're going to cool off a little bit, Jeff. I really do. Yep. When you get spikes like that, and go ahead and draw you a fib on your chart so you can kind of see. Sometimes it's best just to go ahead and say, you know what, my play didn't work. Let me take what I can and get out. Yeah, and then reevaluate and jump back in at another time. But we do still have that catalyst on the table of them merging with Sundry. But I can tell you right now, there's no way do you ever trade and you say, I'm going to hope. Okay? Don't do that to yourself.
Hope's expensive.
So I hope that helps a little bit. Kind of gives you some areas and some ranges to check into, maybe something you could throw on your own chart so you can determine what's best for you in that particular position. Do you want to grab a little bit more and average down and wait for that catalyst? I don't know when that's coming. They just said November. So you might want to dig and see if you can find a better date for that, because you might have time to let it cool off a little bit before you average down. So you got to make a plan for that particular trade. And then you got to say, where am I okay with letting it go instead of letting it go down 70 and 80 and 90%? You don't ever want to do that, okay? So have a plan for every trade you take, you guys, everybody. When it comes to your gains or where you're going to cut it, always.
Honestly, folks, a plan. Know your exit. You say, well, how do I know where I'm going to get out? I don't know what's it. Pick an exit. If you don't have a plan, then you're going to get trapped. You've got to have a plan. It's okay to get out early, folks. How many times have you gotten out late? How many times have you gotten out late? Try early. See if that works for you for a while.
But the whole point is to build a portfolio. So if you can consistently do that, you're going to build a portfolio and you're going to be trading better and have more discipline. And that's so important. So I hope that helped, Jeff.
We've got two people who are both interested in DVLP, Signal and Jeff Engine. And Jeff says it's on his watch list for 006, and the current price right now, let me bring up the screen so you can see what I'm seeing.
You're welcome, Jeff.
Eyes. Bingo. There you go. Current price right now is 008. And you got it on your watch list for 006. Well, congratulations. You just made some money today, didn't you?
Or he might be waiting for it to come back down there to buy in. I don't know.
Maybe it's a buy alert he's looking for, because she did fall today 10%.
Yeah.
Seems to me we look at DVLP each week, and they don't have a whole lot of extra news coming out. There are no new filings here. Let's see. What are we looking at here? Financials. They've got no money. That hasn't changed any week we've looked at them. They do have a filing here, and I just opened that up and started to read it. And it looks like they're taking care of some debt, about $500,000 worth of debt. I haven't gone all through it, but I don't see any words like reverse split or acquisition or anything like that. Nothing special jumping up at me. News 2020, the oldest news here. Down here, we did have news today. All right, thank you for that. And we had news 2 days ago. So what do we got? Golden Developing announces execution of letter of intent with $106 million a year revenue acquisition. All right. All caught up. You remember we were talking, Lily, about that one company that had multiple acquisitions being broke down into multiple parts. Yes. Here we go again. Completes third and fourth acquisition. So we have been saying, based on this news, we know there's more to come. The dominoes are still falling. They keep using the terms multiple acquisitions, third, fourth. Man, maybe we'll see fifth in here. So here
it's not going to mean anything.
Completes acquisition, completes second acquisition, completes third and fourth acquisitions. And this goes back to 10/17. So we're looking at just about a month here, 4 of acquisitions. Have they been very clear about these acquisitions? Have we gotten much information? It seems we're always a little vague every time we come over here. The company announced it has acquired Bushnell Pharmacy, a Florida LLC, October 7th. And and what's the other company? Siva Healthcare LLC. So they've got those two. I can't remember if they ever told us what the first two was. Maybe they did. So they've got 2 pharmacies right there. I don't know anything about them, but obviously there's something going on. This was just 2 days ago. I've got to imagine that is the pharmacies.
Yeah.
Let me see, more than double. Yeah, the health and wellness marketplace. So they're intending on making $106 million with those 2 acquisitions, which they're making nothing right now.
Yeah, they're making nothing.
Big deal. Now I don't see Shell Company up here, nor do I see Shell Risk. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but we did see all the zeros. And anytime a company starts making money when they're absolutely making nothing, it is a big deal. And that other, let's see if complete second acquisition. This is the 2 of 2 parts of the first acquisition. Right. Revenues of 25 mil on top of the other. So all of these are supposed to start bringing in money. That is a big deal. Now, I don't know why the stock isn't moving right now. I'm in stocks right now. I'm expecting to be moving, but they're not. They've got great news. They've got a lot of things going on, but they're not going up. I just got into them in the last 5 days, and some of them are up a little. Some of them have fallen, but I still believe in them. It's market sentiment. Like PLPL. They have that great technology coming out with EV Hotel, where they're mixing cryptocurrency, Internet of Things, and hotels. They're building one in America. They're building one abroad. And they're going to have a lounge where you can trade live. This is all new. It's exciting. And the stock was running. And then all of a sudden they say, but we got to do a 1 in 100 reverse split to make this happen. Oh, thank you very much. After I just tripled down, after I just invested in it. But that's what happens. They had a lot of shares. They need the price up. They want more people to see it because it is new technology. It is big, but that brought the price down. As soon as people heard that, so it doesn't even take bad news. It's just market sentiment. People are putting their money in the most active stocks right now. We don't have a lot of volume on the OTC market. The small caps have been beat to hell over the last year. They're still struggling right now. So, and we're struggling, folks. Let's face that truth. Most of us are low on income and money right now because the whole world is in that state of affairs of inflation right now. So it's not all about the companies. It's about everything around the companies. They got to deal with it too. So this company's got a lot going on. They're about ready to start bringing in money. How soon? Well, hopefully these companies are already in business, right? They're making money.
Hopefully soon.
It should
They're saying maybe May. I think
right. When we see their next financial, there should be something on it, depending on when their last one was. That'll be the big telltale sign. And that's when you would expect to jump, is the first time they say when they're going to have money coming in. Let's see when their last one was. So they bring them out on the 31st every 3 months. And, oh, that doesn't look good. Where's now I'm looking at the year.
This is 2019.
That's what I just saw.
Hold up, what's that?
Down here.
There we go.
Yeah, they're not doing disclosures anymore. They're doing 10Ks and 10Qs. And the last one was here for June. They are doing them every 3 months. One should be coming out anytime now. They should be dropping the September one. Should be out anytime. Maybe there'll be some money on this. This has been a month that they've been running this news. I don't know. Maybe they'll squeak just a few dollars on there to show they're not a shell. Well, I know they're not a shell company.
Yeah, I would love to see some kind of financials or something going on. But maybe, growing pains, they're building, What was their structure on their share count, John? Did you notice
share structure? Let's see. That was...
Just curious.
About $750 million.
That's a lot, too.
Now, it could be as low as $500 million. I've been having a hard time with these numbers here. I've been always going by unrestricted. I figure if the share is on the open market, it's a float.
That makes sense.
It's not been that case. I've been jumping into the disclosures with these pinks because they're relatively easy to find the float. Once the company starts getting a bit of posh to it, doesn't want to tell us to float anymore. But I've been noticing the float in the disclosure is different than the unrestricted. So it could be anywhere between $500 million and $750 million shares.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's take a gander back. Got a lot going on here. Looks like we looked at this a week ago. That's when our line stopped. And from the last time we looked at it, she has been continuing on that downtrend. Lower highs.
And I like that. So you draw that line on out. And if it's not getting back over that, it's cooling off.
Ending to the right. Boink.
It's still in the uptrend, but it's cooling off. So we got to wait for it to consolidate, bounce back up, start showing some volume, some pickup, some support. So is it going to be here, or is it going to come down a little bit more? And I think Jeff was saying 0.006.
Yeah.
I like that area. If it holds the 0.007s, it stays in the trend. If it doesn't, then it's out of the trend, but not outside of the lowest low it has made trend. So it's still okay around there if you see the volume come in and buyers coming in. So be a little patient there if that's what you're waiting on.
Right. So we had that low bubble here of 0.005. So 0.055. So that 6 would just be hovering above the low, which that's pretty common to get right that close to a low. But as you can see by our trend lines here, she's getting tight. She's getting squeezed in there. The 200 is in the midst of it all right there as well. We've actually got a little bit of push going on. We need to get above that 9-day SMA here to show some strength. You've got to be on top of the smallest one before you can get over the bigger ones. So she is still in that perimeter.
And it will make a decision. It'll be up or down. And right now, because of the SMAs, it's looking like it's going to get a little bit weaker and go down.
Yeah, just look down at your oscillators down here, and they'll tell you which way the toothpaste is going to squeeze, up or down. Just look for the pressure. So we are getting tighter and tighter in there. If it breaks down, you could see your 6. It could easily come down because right in this area right here, 0.075, we've got a support, and then you're going to fall down to that 6 area. So if it does break out, it's likely, but she is on an uptrend, believe it or not. It isn't a very strong one. She's on a down portion of it right now, but she is on
overall is an uptrend.
Overall, right.
All right, we
so
got
keep
Chris.
your eye on DBLP. They are doing a lot.
There is stuff going on.
Yeah, what is that? Four acquisitions in the last month. Yeah, they're doing something. They're going from zero income to multiple millions. So I would definitely keep up with this company's news. You probably might want to do that. Put their ticker into your news watch list. There's a difference between watching the volume move and seeing the news first. You want to be part of that volume movement. So if you're up before the bell, just go see if that ticker has any news today, and then get ready, get set, and you might want to jump into it if you're not already into it.
Not only that, though, if it's something you're really interested in, they got a lot more to come. Maybe you already know this, then I recommend going to their actual website and going to their investors page and signing up for their news, their newsletters, stuff like that. You can do that and you'll get it first. And then it goes in the SEC as well, but you'll start seeing that kind of first, like maybe 5 minutes before the market does.
Lily, have you been paying attention to Latman, the airline that came out of bankruptcy?
No. I was going to, sorry, John, I was going to cover what Chris was asking real quick. He had one for IMPP.
All right, let me jump on out here.
Sorry.
Don't need to apologize.
No, I just didn't want to interrupt you. But so he thanked us for the ATLX. You're welcome. And the IMPP said they destroyed earnings but did not move up. I want to invest, but not sure they're going to reverse split. So what I did was just look at the chart real quick. I didn't do anything crazy. And I'll show you real fast. Signal Pop says a big squeeze is coming. You talking about for IMPP?
Yeah.
Signal Pops? I'm going to show it real quick. Make sure my
So they did good on earnings. I'm taking it that's what he means. They did good.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what destroyed means. I usually take it as a positive, but it might not be.
Yeah, well, a lot of times you can just go to the chart, right? And they'll just have the numbers down at the bottom for you.
Well, here it is. And IMPP is one that we traded inside the Discord several times. It usually has nice movement when it starts moving. The problem is, I kind of went back. I went to the 4-hour. This is a 6-month chart. And from what I can tell right here, this stock has been under $1 since April. So I am worried. I am worried about a reverse split. And I don't know. I can't answer that for you without actually going through the filings and stuff like that and looking. So it's a good point. And it's a good question to have. We're sitting at 42 cents right now. And if you're saying they killed the earnings and they're still not getting enough volume and interest to overcome that dollar range, this is not looking good. And it could be because they've already said they're going to reverse split, that the market, the general part of the market already knows this and they don't want to be participating in it right now. I don't know, though.
I am looking at their financial right now, and it says that the stockholders have already approved the amendment for a stock split when the company decides they want one.
Yeah. So that's that's another thing that's very scary. Traders aren't going to go in here and buy this and hold and hold and hold because, hey,
there's got a ratio here.
They could get messed up bad by that because they could drop it any time.
It can go anywhere from a 1 to 2 up to 1 to 500.
Oh, so 1 to 2 or 200?
No, 1 to 2.
Oh my gosh, they left it that broad?
That's how broad it is.
That's scary. That is so scary. So until all that works out, I would probably leave IMPP alone unless you're going to play it during the day quickly.
They've actually got a time thing here. It says they have approved this ratio provided that any such split is implemented prior to the 3rd anniversary of the spinoff. Now, I'm not familiar with
that. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, but if you're following this company,
is that?
Had a spin-off before the 3rd year.
Give me a date. That's not fair. That's not right.
They're forcing you to do your DD.
So I go back 3 years. Let's see. What do we got here? This is 21. And so they don't even have a 3-year chart.
No, they did a spin-out, some sort of spin-out. And it's a 3-year anniversary. And if you're familiar with the company, you probably know the history better than we do. But that was found in their most recent financials. So if they need to, the emergency string can be pulled.
I don't like it. They're going to. Okay. They're being very cryptic with that. I hate that. No dates, no anticipation. Most of the time it'll say the reverse split can happen by October 31st, by November the 30th, whatever it is. They'll give you a kind of a window that it has to happen by. So, and you might be able to find it if you dig more, but I don't like that. More than likely it is coming. And even if their earnings were good, there's a lot of the market that is aware of this. And if they're playing it quickly. They're not staying invested in that because, I mean, it could go up to a 500 reverse split. That's crazy. That's crazy. Your average would be insane. No. No.
All right.
So I hope that helped.
To LATAM because it has been.
Yeah. Let's finish up with that, John. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been turbulent. It's a perfect word for this sort of stock. LTMAY, they've changed their ticker. They got rid of the Q. They're out of the bankruptcy. You only have a Q at the end of your original ticker. What?
Are you sharing your screen? Yeah, I can see you, but I can't see your screen.
Well, you got the better choice, the better option.
I thought you were trying to show something. There we go.
Oh, all right. So the company has got their Y now, which means they are
well, that's good.
Sponsored ADR, an American Deposit Receipt. And this is a 1-to-1 ratio. What this means is that the stock is not being held by transfer agents. It's being held by the bank. It's still legitimate stock to trade. There's no problem with it. Just know the difference. A 1-to-1 ratio, one ADR share is the same as one stock of this company. You can have multiple ratios, 1-to-3, 1-to-15, and the price will reflect the difference by all means. So they have come out of bankruptcy better than they went into it. Of course, right? That's the whole point. 3 years ago, they were a $12 stock before inflation in bad shape. Now they are in better shape than they were then. Inflation has kicked in. They had an $8 billion infusion. They have $10 billion in assets, $6 billion in liabilities. They're righteous. They have got over 80% of their business built back up. Just did a deal with Delta. Are closing a deal with Atlantic Virgin. Yeah, they've had some incidents come up. They got a strike in Chile. They had a nose cone of one of their planes get damaged in a hailstorm. Welcome to the real world. Outside of that, things are going great for the company. But the stock, it has been fun. I'll give you that. Each day it is putting a nice punch in there, gets my blood rolling, and then the wheels come back down. It's like, no, we don't have to come back down. So let's take a look at that chart. Now, remember, we are looking at LTMAY, and this ticker has only been here for a few days. So there's not a lot of chart.
Yeah, I see that. But from what I see, John, it's in a beautiful uptrend.
Yes, nice. It is.
It is nice.
She was at 42 cents when they changed the ticker. Now, we were talking about this for a long time. She had a low just a little while ago of 6 cents. That's when you got in. We are now up here at, where are we at? Where's my price, Doug, on it? Where'd my price go? There it is, 67 cents. So that's 1,100% from that low there. Now, folks, I'm believing this stock is going to go and go. There's no problems. Everything is absolutely taken care of. They're making $4.2 billion last year when they were still in bankruptcy. I think it's going to hit $3 without a problem. It's a $12 stock 3 years ago. It's not a 65-cent stock. It's not a $3 stock. This is a huge company that fell off the NASDAQ when they went bankrupt. And it was a complicated bankruptcy. But now, as Lily says, they're on an up climb. And I think this is going to go to $3. They're going to work their way up to the NASDAQ, get in front of the big money, and this thing is going to fly high. So I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul. I wish I would have saw that coming. That would have been a good sell. There's no doubt about it. This was a huge run we had the other day. We went from 64 cents up to $1.06. It was grand.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
All the way down even lower than where she started. It was heart-wrenching, you know. I believe in the company. I don't see anything wrong with it. I watched Hertz very closely. Hertz is a lot like this company, except it, you know, is a car. They're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger. So, but both were generating money, and nobody wants to let a money factory go down the drain. And this one was generating it. They just needed to work out how bills were paid and how things were handled. And now they're flying again. So I'm waiting for this to hit $3 before I sell anything. And that, for me, is going to be 1,000% gain. I got in at around 30 cents. I could have gotten in earlier, but c'est la vie. And then I expect it to go further than $3. I absolutely expect this to fly. Now, where? I don't know, folks. She was $12 is all I can say. And we're in inflation periods now where tickets and fuel. That was the only new piece of news I heard in their financials that just came out today. Those are good financials, by the way, good information in there. They did say they got hit hard by the new expenses that came with fuel. We're all being hit with that. And that's my whole point. Every single business is being hit with higher fees for whatever it is they deal with. That's just the way the world is right now, and we're all feeling the impact. So you've got to take that into consideration. But the stock itself, it's volatile. I don't know if these are profit takers or if it's manipulation. I honestly don't. But I don't have any doubt that the stock is a solid company. I don't doubt that they're going to continue in business, getting more and more business. We're coming out of COVID. They're out of bankruptcy for two countries, Chile and America. Both are resolved. It's done. So I'm very content to keep my money here for a while. I'm not going to sell even if it hits $2. My exit is $3 because I think the company's worth more than $3, and I feel I'll be cheating myself then, but I don't want my money tied up forever. So I'll take some gravy or some ice cream at that point. How about you, Lily? Are you?
Well, the whole time you're talking, I was charting and looking at it and stuff. So I like the company. I do think it has a lot of potential. What I would like to know is the share structure. You may have said it, John, but I can't remember what you said.
Share structure. Let's go take a look at that. That's always a factor. Absolutely. Nope. Share structure. All right. Here they've got 606 outstanding. So we know it's less than that. And honestly, trying to find the float on these old NASDAQ stocks, it's tough. But we know it's under 600. So probably a 500 million shares roughly.
And it doesn't show you how many they have to do an offering. Because, I know they're restructuring and stuff like that. But companies do that. They need money or whatever. They're getting through these hard times. Travel could be suffering for a little while.
Bankruptcy with all that infusion, I don't think they have to struggle to get their feet underneath them right now. I think they just get to run. I'm hoping.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good because if so, then, it's not terrible. I just didn't know if they want to reduce the float. They're on the OTC now. I do remember them from the NASDAQ. I actually played that company quite a few times when it was on the NASDAQ. But
some are concerned that you might do a reverse split to get to the NASDAQ. I think you do it organically.
Maybe, and it might get there. And like I said, overall, but we only have like 5 days worth of data, but it's a beautiful uptrend. Love the pop that it had. Came back into the channel, retested the bottom of the channel, and it's holding that beautifully. It's actually outside of it. It just came back into it from the bottom. So it's reclaiming right now. And so if it can hold like the 0.68 level, 0.67, it's actually a good spot to buy in for that's what I think. Top of the uptrend.
Cents is the good buy right now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking, and especially the volume's still there. It's not, it's looking healthy like it's been doing. Even for a short-term play, that could be played between the 66 to 68 cents range. Maybe get in around there.
That would have been a great day played the other day.
And then the top of that channel is like 90 cents. But you could definitely see 80 to 90 cents on that. And then of course we should keep moving along healthily and moving up little by little. And that's kind of what you want, especially if you're going along. You want one that's going to kind of just move slowly under the radar, just keep building and keep doing what it's supposed to be doing. So when they start popping off like that,
and the thing I say to myself,
you got to take some profits.
If Delta and Atlantic Virgin are making deals with them now that they've come out of bankruptcy, that's the stamp of approval. Delta ain't going to fix up with a loser.
Looks good. It looks good. I don't hate it. It's 5:04 now, you guys, and I had somewhere I got to get
all right, folks. We appreciate you sticking with us. We're going to be here next week. We don't know what we're going to bring. We don't know what you're going to bring. That's what makes it all so interesting.
Thank you guys for being here. And I'm so sorry I had to leave, but just bring any of those questions. We'll review them. We can see these. We can still see this after we leave, right, John?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're not going to ignore your questions.
Comments down below.
We're not going to ignore your questions. We will look them over and bring that back to you on Thursday. But yeah, join us back on next Thursday. Bring those same questions if you want to, and we'll cover that. And thank y'all so much for joining us and participating. We appreciate it. Bye.